Welcome to the Daily Review. This is Razak, Senior Trading Strategist here at CMTrading, and today is June 16th, 2023, and today is Friday morning. So looking at the highlights of the day, we're watching the markets roar higher, almost across the board. But first, looking at today's major economic events. So at 4 o'clock South African time of the United States, UoM Consumer Confidence number coming out. Now looking at the various markets, starting out with the Forex symbols, almost across the board, when we come to the major pairs, they all break out higher versus the US dollar. And looking at the Dow Jones and the NASDAQ, both breaking 2023 new highs. Looking at commodities, gold bouncing off that support level, and oil pretty much doing the same. Now looking at the stocks, Microsoft rallies to its all-time highs right there. And lastly, looking at cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin bouncing off of its lows. So let's take a look at the markets and see what we can expect from today's trading. So we're going to start with the Euro USD, and you see this massive pop. We're looking just at a 1 hour chart just to give us perspective here, but let's take a look at a daily first. Now look at that. Now this I mentioned the other day, and you guys should have made money on it. This was a layup, real layup, because we crossed over the moving average, the 30-day moving average, and we crossed over the 8-day moving average. And that has been, you could see historically, that has been a massive opportunity for taking that trade. Now I'm going to do target that trade. I'm going to definitely highlight this, and I'm going to highlight the video also that I mentioned this. So this is really important. This is the Euro USD. GBP also pops to new highs, and the GBP has been the strongest. Remember, we've said that, okay? Always hanging out. So it would have been an easy layup, really easy money. This is when money is, you could make a $50,000 on this type of trade alone because you have the conviction, because it's not receding. Now jumping into the commodities, gold bouncing off its support, nothing big. Okay, so did crude oil bounce off of its lows of $67. Not doing much, okay, but it's an opportunity. It's bouncing off of its lows. Now, jumping into the US markets, this is where it gets very interesting. Dow Jones pushing to 34,700. That's as high as it gets for 2023. That is all-time new highs for 2023. Not all-time historic highs, but all-time highs for 2023. We're about only 1,700 points away from our all-time highs on the Dow Jones. That's very important. That's a big recovery for the Dow Jones. And looking at the NASDAQ, also on its highs, dead highs, I might add, 50,300-ish level. That has been really very strong. You could see it just doesn't give up. Now, jumping onto Microsoft, look at that. It's on its all-time highs, 348. And this is why I mentioned to everybody, and everybody said, whoa, could it go higher? Could it go higher? And just a few months ago, I was on national television in South Africa on Newsroom, and they were asking me about the SVP, saying that the markets are going to collapse. And look at that. We recovered like we always do. This always happens. This is just the reality of things. Now, jumping into the other stocks, Facebook also pushing higher to 281. That's a new yearly high for Facebook as well. Apple did the same, pushing higher. And they're not going to give it to you. They're going to scare you out before they take it higher. But sure enough, this is where it's at. Now, looking at Tesla as well, did recover after kind of like just taking a break for a second. Lastly, looking at Cisco and Intel, both pushing higher as well. So everything is there. Everything is trading together on its highs. That is what I like to see. That's a recovery when we're looking at the stocks. Now, lastly, let's take a look at Bitcoin bouncing off of its low of 24,900-ish level. That's a round number. 25,000 is an important number for it to hold. Okay, ultimately, it's still very choppy. But looking at today, if we get that consumer confidence number and it's positive, we could extend our rally going into the weekend. And we're summer trading. Keep that in mind. This is Razak. I want to wish you guys a great trading day. Thank you.